All right, I'm a big believer that sometimes the best, truest, most authentic video production is the most raw stuff. And so I got to start out this, man, by giving a shout out to my boys behind the camera, Connor and Frankie, because we literally at the last second said, hey, can you make us look cool at the border in the middle of the night? And I think they pulled it off.
Absolutely, I agree. Power of LEDs are amazing.
It is. Who are you?
Kevin Lawrence, Executive Director, TMPA.
Who are you two?
Clint McNear, Field Services Supervisor with TMPA.
Tyler Owen, Communications Manager with TMPA.
And I guess we should probably give everybody a little bit of context. I'll sort of set the stage. The last couple of days we've been out here on the border in the beautiful state of Texas, and we have been on the ground with National Border Patrol Council, Border Patrol, Texas DPS, a lot of local law enforcement, really showing what's been going on behind the scenes that America doesn't get to see. You guys are in Texas. How often do you even get to see the truth of what's happening when you turn on the news?
Never.
Not often. We were talking with your crew earlier, and some of us live 10 and 12 hours from here, which in other parts of the country is you could travel through 3 or 4 states. And so for me, I'm down here infrequently, and it's still shocking to see.
You know, in Connecticut, where I'm from, I'll be driving from Connecticut to Florida. It's going to take 14 hours. That's almost the entire freaking East Coast.
Yeah.
So I don't think people realize just how big Texas is until you start driving it like we did the other day. It is a big state, man.
It's massive.
Yeah, Texarkana is closer to Chicago than it is to El Paso.
That's insane.
It is, isn't it?
So what was it that particularly jumped out about this experience to you guys?
To me, it was just exactly that. What we're seeing on the news, and I don't care what news you're watching, you're not seeing what's really going on down here on this border. And I don't know that it's possible to truly report it to the American people without them just coming down here and seeing it. It's just, you know, that was what was just really eye-opening to me, was the people that are coming across that border lawfully. That's a very well-organized, well-oiled machine. It's being done properly, you know. There's people coming across for thousands of different reasons without any problems, without any contact with law enforcement. They're just waving at each other and going on. It's the people that are trying to usurp that process that are causing this entire problem, and there's lots of them.
You know, I was with a Border Patrol agent recently, and I said, when you put on the news, do you see the truth being reported? This Border Patrol agent goes, no, but I'm almost glad, which kind of threw me for a loop, because you would think that they would want this all exposed, right? I said, well, why are you glad to see that? And this Border Patrol agent said, because if Americans saw and knew what's really happening down here, they would never shut off their lights at night in their room again. And it kind of left me with the chills, right? But I get it now. I see it.
Yeah.
You see the FBI director now saying we're tracking down terrorists all over the country. There is a massive rising terror threat, and it's here in Texas.
Yeah.
It's in Arizona, but it's all over the country now.
I had a reporter from CNN call me because of Senate Bill 4. They wanted to talk about Senate Bill 4 and, you know, the concerns that this is going to cause law enforcement, local and state and national law enforcement, to do a lot more racial profiling, which is just a crock. But what struck me about it was that this reporter had no clue whatsoever what is really going on. And so I challenged him. I said, listen, why don't you go do some research? Look at a case, the case of a guy by the name of Rafael Resendez Ramirez. He was a serial killer who went back and forth across this border dozens of times under 12 different names and was able to commit, I think, 23 murders total before we finally tracked him down and caught him, even though he had been stopped every single time by somebody.
That's crazy.
We just never were able to make the case because of our immigration policies and the way our law enforcement officers are handcuffed on this.
You're working social media every single day. You work with these incredible officers all across Texas, but you're also all over social media in general in the law enforcement space. What's the vibe that you're seeing online about how much people know versus how much people are in the dark?
Well, first I'll tell you exactly where we're sitting at today when we started this journey this morning at 5:30, which was
we were
earlier
all
than
really
others.
happy about.
I mean, less than 100 yards from where we're sitting at, you see on social media all the time. In fact, I think it was an interaction with Ted Cruz there in a Senate chambers, speaking of the armbands, and it went viral. The video went viral, and so I saw that just a couple weeks ago. And today, there was 2 illegal immigrants that were captured by our Border Patrol, and to see those armbands on today, and then later in the day see a different color armbands, and what that signifies is the fact that this is a national crisis, but it's what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Well organized.
Well organized. Yeah, it's well organized, and it was numbered. They were numbered and different colors on there, and that just to me, it was so impactful to see that today firsthand, to kind of relate it to what we're doing and the message that we're putting out.
The numbers are also amazing. The Border Patrol agent told us today, he pulled it up on his phone, 370 some odd thousand actual detentions just since October 1st in less than 2. That's the number they've caught.
Right.
How many have they not caught?
Yeah.
And there, all you can do is guess.
And that number, 376,000 in 60 days, when in previous times, previous administration, that number would have been somewhere between 16 and 24,000, 20,000, and we're now looking at 376,000. That's not a small increase.
Right.
And I think what I want people to not miss, what shouldn't go unnoticed, is the dedication that the men and women have down here to get up every single day, go right back to work. And those sheer numbers that Kevin brings up, it's like an infant trying to drink out of a fire hose. And to know I'm going to get up today, I'm going to go catch some people, some evildoers, but there's thousands more, and then tomorrow I'm going to get up and do it again, and then I'm going to get up and do it again the next day. They're dedicated. They're still passionate about it. They're carrying out the mission. They still care about our country. And I'm diehard American, but I hope I could be that dedicated to understand that the catch and release program and it's a crazy battle that these guys are fighting, and I don't want it to fall on deaf ears. The dedication.
You ask some of these people, why are you coming across? Well, you know that we've got a border here. You know we're trying to stop it, and they're like, "Well, your president said I could."
Yep.
Yeah.
The number that really kind of resonated for me is when you factor in the gotaways, right? The number that they really believe. Like, they're not going to go public and say this because they can't show these numbers. It would be conjecture, it would be fake news, but they can gather some of these numbers approximately.
But not all of them.
But not all of them.
Yeah.
So when you factor the number of gotaways plus the number of apprehensions just over 3 months, that number is significantly more than the total number of police officers in the entire country.
Yeah.
We have the equivalent coming across every single day of more than 2 of your average small towns in America.
And when you say number of police officers, that's including local, state, and federal.
Correct.
We have 900,000 cops total for the entire country.
It's not sustainable. And I heard the analogy of a jar of M&Ms. If you had a jar of 1,000 M&Ms and you knew that in that jar of 1,000 M&Ms, 4 of them were poison, you're gonna take a handful? You're gonna eat them? Probably not.
Right.
And that's what we're facing here.
Great analogy.
And you now have it being, again, publicly acknowledged. We have known terrorists that have been captured, that have turned themselves over, that have been apprehended and declared asylum. If we have known terrorists who are calling for asylum, who is in the gotaways? And that's what people do. Everybody likes to look at the positive side. These are just innocent women and children. Yeah, over there, turning themselves in, and over here, you have 4,000 military-age, clean-cut young men from China coming in, single, with no women or children with them. If you're seeing over here what the media is reporting, you need to ask what's over here.
Yeah, exactly.
When Americans have common sense, and you can put 2 and 2 together, and when you have large groups of single males in their 20s and 30s from China coming across, and then we're hearing the problem in our country where China is buying up large swaths of land around all of our military installations. Any reasonable American with common sense can start piecing together what's going on here in the larger picture. When we have the director of the FBI admittedly saying we're a ticking time bomb, there's going to be an attack, unfortunately, at some point.
Well, let's not forget too that only 3% of cargo from overseas gets inspected before it gets distributed all over the country.
Let's also not fail to mention this fact that we heard today from these officers. The number of what do they call them, OTMs, other
OTMs.
than Mexican,
Yep.
From all 170 some odd other countries that people are coming across this border from. And I didn't know this until recently, but Mexico has a wall on their southern border
Yep.
with what was it,
Guatemala.
Guatemala. They absolutely try to stop illegal immigration coming into Mexico from their southern border. That's all we're trying to do here. We're just trying to manage who's coming across. And by the way, among those gotaways, and I understand this is dated information, Resendez was a while back, but he was among the gotaways at least a half a dozen times.
What I took from today was the fact that, and we don't know really what the prosecution side on the federal court side is, but that's one thing that me and Clint and Kevin have spoken with Chris Cabrera, the Vice President of the National Border Patrol Council. The mental health with our Border Patrol, I can see it. The dedication that they displayed today, it was true and through. And the fact that they know that the job that they're going to do tomorrow and the next day and so forth, now it's kind of just, that's the biggest perspective that I gained coming down here. We're seeing the dedication again, not only from Border Patrol, but our DPS, the Mission Police Department, the different agencies and multiple agencies out here that work together. I saw cops today. I'm leaving here seeing patriots.
Totally.
And that's the best understanding that I can give anybody watching this video is that this is a humanitarian crisis, but the dedication that was displayed today was remarkable. I've never seen anything like it.
Well,
And remember those troopers, they're on mandatory 50-hour week,
Exactly.
50-hour work week.
Yep.
They have automatic 10 hours overtime every single week. And then their overtime is on top of that.
Well, and to the mental health component too, we're not just talking about the threats that are coming across, right? Let's talk about those innocent women and children for a second, because there are many of them. And those women and children are being exploited, they're being raped,
Yep.
they're being trafficked, the kids are ending up being thrown into the river while mothers are sexually assaulted, and then the Border Patrol agents and Texas DPS and the local law enforcement are pulling kids out, giving them CPR, saving lives, or in many cases not being able to save them.
Well, and that's exactly why I think it's important for us to be down here, because we are trying to show those stories and show the humanization of the badge, and show the fact that as we hear a gunshot in the background, it's that's the realization of what's going on down here. Just as you're seeing the wall, you're not going to see that on any other network, that the wall's not finished because of a person got elected. And so it's just, again, a different perspective that I've never seen.
Well, I got to give you guys credit, because TMPA has been an incredible partner of law enforcement today in helping show these stories. You are on the ground out here shaking hands, kissing babies, truly representing your officers every single day. There's no better organization in the country.
Yeah.
I got to be careful, because I'm friends with the National Border Patrol Council guys, especially after today. But the work that you're doing to elevate their stories,
Yeah.
and to bring spirit back into that fight as these guys get beat down every
Yeah.
single day. Like, God bless you guys for the work that you're doing to represent.
Well, it's ground zero. And if you want to know the truth, come to ground zero.
Yeah.
The number he was talking about for OTMs other than Mexican, last year there was 161 other countries, not including Mexico. OTM, Uzbekistan, Syria, China, 161. Those people aren't coming here for the better life or to seasonally pick crops and go back home. People dropping their Quran and evading law enforcement are not coming here for the better life, trying to live the American dream. And I'm damn proud that if other states don't think it's a crisis, or if the government at times has thought this isn't a crisis, I'm damn proud to see Texans protecting Texas.
And God bless these officers that are still willing to put on that badge and that uniform every day and get out here and do this work. As much crap as they have to catch from all different sides, it's just amazing to me that they still have that sense of dedication.
Having been on the ground in New Mexico and California and Arizona and spent a significant time at the border, I got to tell you guys, serious props to your lawmakers, specifically your governor in this state, who have said, not my state. We're going to give these boys the resources they need. I'm very excited for an interview with your governor. He doesn't know we're doing it yet, but we're going to be, because I'd love to shake that man's hand and congratulate him on the winning the small battles. This is a huge war.
Yeah.
This is a war that's been launched on America, and he's winning battles.
Well, we've had our differences with our governor on other issues, and I think that's just the nature of the business that we're in. But when it comes to supporting law enforcement, supporting law and order, we've never had better. He absolutely has our backs.
Awesome. Well, Governor, looking forward to shaking your hand, sir. Guys, thank you so much. Shameless plug. How can people follow TMPA?
TMPA.org, our website, and also hit us up on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And we've also got our Blue Grit podcast there on YouTube. You can find us all through those social media outlets.
God, he's polished, huh? He had that
He really
plug
is.
ready to
This
roll.
is the face and the voice.
If you'd like to reach our executive director, his cell phone number is
BR549.
No, but, I mean it's been a great time. Me and Clint were talking just about a great time, and Kevin, it's just been it's been an awesome experience to work with you guys. So thank you for inviting
Thanks,
us
man.
down.
You have the best crew in the business, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't say that too loud. They'll want raises.
Except Freddie.
Guys, to every one of you who are watching this right now, thank you for hitting that share button, that repost button. To all of you for helping expose the truth about what's going on, we say thank you. To those of you who hold the thin blue line, who come out here or in your local communities every single day, may God bless and protect you. To your families, thank you all so much. To the wives, to the husbands, to the children, your support for these officers is crucial for their mental health. We understand and appreciate and are so grateful for the sacrifices that you are making for your family and for this country every single day. So may God bless and keep all of you safe and sound. God bless America.